Welcome back to One Piece Grand Battle. Thank you, Usopp. And now we're going to be rounding off our playthrough part, at least of this little session. We're going to be playing as Sanji, the one with the best voice ever.
Again, you pretty much have made our thoughts clear. I'm personally fine on the voice, just not on the lack of inflection.
All let's see is an apprentice chef. Sanji's fate took a dramatic turn when his ship was invaded by the pirate Red Shoes Zeph. As the current cook of the Straw Hat Pirates, he aims to find the legendary ocean Great Blue, a magical place where all the fish of the world gather. Baratie's head chef Zeph taught Sanji to fight with powerful kicks, since a cook can't risk carving his hands.
And that is one thing Sanji is good with, the kicks.
Sanji never uses his hands to fight, nor actually uses weapons for that. It's a code and everything.
Which makes his fight style in,
unique.
No, what's that fighting game I'm thinking of? The one with all the anime characters.
What's the problem?
Any? Like, you need to be more specific.
Okay, the most recent one, you know, one that kind of...
Jump Force, I guess.
Yeah, Jump Force, that's the one. His fight style is interesting in that it has 2 modes in that game.
Well, okay, as far as I do know, because Neji, I think, did told me, recently I think his backstory was amplified a bit in one of recent arcs, but I'm actually not there yet, so I do not know what they add onto it. But back when it was introduced, again, Sanji also had one of the more tragic backstories of all the Luffy's crewmates. Like, they actually go into the excruciating detail on how both him and his master have to stay stranded onto an island for a very long time, to the point where his master has to literally eat his own legs to survive. It's fucking hardcore.
Come on, Sanji, getting the crap kicked out of you by a coward. Stay calm for what?
Don't take me lightly. I lost.
Yeah, don't take you lightly and yet you lost. Yeah, here's another problem. Sometimes the sound makes it a bit hard to understand what characters are saying.
You guys have no respect.
No respect, man. No respect.
And that's it. That's all that needs to be said. Oh boy. This pairing again.
Again, interestingly enough, I'll explain more later.
Sanji, will you spar with me?
Oh, this is spear with me.
It would be my pleasure.
But I thought,
okay, that's
how very amicable.
I thought you don't hit women.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, actually. I mentioned he has 2 modes in the latest Jump Force game. One is his regular fighting mode, the other is a special mode that he has for when he's fighting female opponents. Like, they had to find a workaround for that, and they did! In quite a weird fashion, because he goes from being high tier to low tier.
So I guess this is like the hard mode challenge.
It's funny because, yeah, that's literally how he kind of attacks in Jump Force, with hearts when he's going up against female opponents.
Oh no! I kicked my beloved off the tower!
I do appreciate that they gave him custom lines for when he's fighting a female opponent in this game.
In general, there are at least a couple of custom lines depending on the type of opponent, the match opponents. But it's funny considering instead I forgot his name, but the protagonist of City Hunter in comparison is normally more on the horny side compared to Sanji.
That's because Sanji at least tries to be a gentleman about it.
Yeah. The thing also about Sanji's moveset, usually, because it's a thing also from the material, is that all of the moves are actually labeled after, dishes in some kind of fashion.
Okay, so I've been looking into One Piece Wikia, and apparently there was a Singapore-based anime distribution company called Odex that released 104 episodes of the anime. I'm trying to see if they did an English dub that's in style with the speed dub of DBZ or the Yu-Gi-Oh! Singapore dub.
I wish I could have spent more time with you.
Well done,
Dramatic
Sanji.
finish!
You
Yeah,
kicked the
pretty
crap out.
much.
You kicked the crap out of your crush.
I'm done with all this fighting.
Oh, here we go.
It's too exhausting.
You
There you
started
go.
it.
I
Sorry,
thought you
I
might
would-
feel that way, so I made you a little energy snack.
How nice.
Aw, you're so sweet. Thanks.
Wow, she's even gorgeous when she's scarfing down food. What a girl.
That's anime for you.
Someone used the
You know what I'm
bong stick.
saying? One thing I will say about Oda's character designs, by the way, they're really cool. That being said, while Nami's character design is not by any means anything. Wait for this.
Hey, watch! Here's Sanji. Who's been eating my meat?
Yeah, I think we already went for this. So go on, Pedro.
Yeah, but it's funny
How
anyway.
dare you make fun of me? You got some nerve.
All the characters look really cool and unique. And Nami looks fine, don't get me wrong. It's just that by comparison regarding the other characters, she looks a bit plain.
Oh, don't worry,
she-
Pedro. That's what
she
later
also-
eras of One Piece are for.
Not just that, she also tends to have her own over-the-top, images. It's not that the game hasn't used them that much.
Okay.
Glom, glom, rapid fire.
Alright, basically, here it is. It says right here, Odex acquired the rights to the series prior to 4Kids, so they produced their own English dub between
man.
2003 and 2000. So yes, still, to finally get a response on a question that I made a couple parts ago, there is a One Piece Southeast Asian dub.
Oh,
right.
boy.
And it's probably just as terrible as the speed up for DBZ and the Yu-Gi-Oh! Singapore dub. It's basically Dwibs. It's probably so bad it like before kids dub in an instant because I mean,
Probably. Like, my experience with those kind of dubs, it's been, well, first off, why are you even trying to do English? Secondly, wow, it's terrible.
Okay,
Yeah.
Pedro did mention this, off commentary while we were commenting on, or stuff, not commenting, but we were, watching some stuff like Yokai Watch. Usually it happens for.
Now when
Sorry.
Sanji wins.
You've lost your eating privileges for the day.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah,
yeah. Next
you're
time,
grounded.
don't touch. Hey, don't touch my pots and pans next time. Then, eh?
Anyway, you were saying, Tia?
But basically, usually they're done with the idea in mind of people who live there, who actually normally have English as their native language or something, or their primary
Yeah.
language.
It's
Like,
weird.
there's
Again,
evolution-
the problem being is that they're usually on the cheap side.
And
Yeah,
even
no,
still,
no,
sometimes it
that's-
sounds like they're using broken language on some of those
Yeah.
dubs.
It's because Jova. Well, okay. From what I've heard from watching retrospectives on the DBZ Speedy Dub, apparently there's a genuine demand for English dubs over there because apparently people over there really prefer to speak English over a natural Asian language because apparently it's a culture thing. Like it's something that like
I guess it
don't
kind of
know.
makes sense because the Japanese love to hear their actors say stuff in English as well, so there's that. It's kind of like how English-speaking countries have a fascination with Japanese
wish-
actors.
I just wish they would get a translator that can actually speak English to do the translations.
Now this makes me wonder if actually there's a huge Japanese fan base for the original One Piece 4Kids dub.
God.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure it's just the Odex dub that's not over there.
Sanji, this pie is delicious.
I'm so pleased you like it.
I'm gonna see if I can find this dub.
I'm trying to sleep.
So trying to sleep in the middle of a raiding castle
So,
area?
if he sort of decides he wants to sleep, he will do it regardless of the place, Dwibs.
And it's Zolo
What's
too.
that now?
Whatevs,
What did you just say?
bitch.
Oh, now it's on.
You don't insult me. I'm from New Jersey.
What
Oh
was
wait,
it?
am I?
Ow.
Anyway, so, but,
Oh.
yeah, no, I mean,
Like,
well,
On it.
when it comes to, like, demolition dubs, the DBZ Speedy dub, is that the one that calls Namekians black people?
Yes. Okay, no. Okay, hold on, Joe. If I'm correct. It's not that they call Namex black people. It's more so that, okay, you've seen the fourth DBZ OVA, I'm guessing, right?
Yes. The
Okay.
Lord Slug one.
Remember, yeah, when Slug, like when Piccolo takes off his ears and asks Goron to whistle because Namekians hate what King Kai is supposed to say is that just like human beings hate the rubbing of glass, Namekians hate the sound of the human whistling. The problem, Joe, is that somehow the more I translated that, somehow changed that into like black human beings. It's like the black. I'm sorry, never mind. What he sees is, I see. Black human beings is like the rubbing of glass, probably the sound of the whistle.
Yeah, which again implies that they're black. What the? That was
And so the great swordsman Zorro, whatever, was defeated.
I mean, he was trying to sleep. I guess he will do now.
Why do you be sleeping here?
What do you have to say?
Okay,
now,
I'll say
Firehead?
after this.
Nothing. That's what I thought.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I guess we
So
did
it's
knock him out
battle
cold.
against
Don Krieg.
Concrete.
This is the guy who attacked the restaurant during the arc where Sanji
Baratie, I
was
think
recruited.
his name is. Yeah.
I'm gonna show you what real power is all about.
Wow, that's. Can you be any more generic with that line?
This happened, but I guess it's too late for that now.
Early One Piece was
Guess
kind of
so.
like that a bit. Not like it was bad, but okay, yeah, like
Well, a couple of the starting villains were kind of lame. Buggy the Clown really stood out among them.
oh, I
Yeah, they
love
still
Buggy the
took him out
Clown.
after his.
No way.
But yeah, I died.
Regarding,
Bursting flames, but,
I would like to. I would like to say something about the speed up, by the way, real quick. I fully believe, because remember, you have to remember that these
Seconds.
dubs were made by people who have little to no knowledge of English. So this was a dub that was produced in the most amateurish of ways. So I am willing to give them the benefit of the doubt and believe that that was a genuine mistake and not anything actually malicious. You know. Because I'm honestly going to assume that it was a genuine, like the translators didn't know what they were actually doing, to be honest. I blame this on incompetence rather than malice.
Oh, I'm not calling them racist. What I am calling them is unbelievably incompetent.
Oh, sure. What's interesting, what's the funniest part, Job, is that in the YouTube clip that is specifically that one part, that one bit, the top comment on that YouTube video is literally a guy saying, I am also a black human being and I can confirm that what King Kai says is true. We do indeed dislike the rubbing of glass.
Depends on how you rub it, but yeah. But yeah, no, like me and Sia were saying though, like, well, One Piece is definitely one of those franchises that it found its legs, and looking back, I don't want to say early stuff was bad, because no, it wasn't. It was definitely promising, but it's like,
early installment weirdness at most, I will say.
pretty much, yeah. Like, well, it was kind of like to a point where, okay, it was definitely pirate-oriented, but it definitely felt like it kind of had more of a, well, okay, it kind of felt more like DBZ in a pirate outfit as opposed to an actual pirate anime.
It also was a bit more, not disjointed, but aimless. It basically, again, it changes once everyone gets
Alright.
onto the grand line.
No dessert for you.
Not quite as epic as the battle in the actual show, but there we go.
Yeah, we work with what they have.
Wow. Guess all that
Yeah,
equipment is
I mean,
just for show.
Ooh!
No! My armor is supposed to make me invincible!
Yes, the
Shut up.
typical villain who believes he's invincible in anime, only to
I'm a
not
pirate
be.
chef. What an amazing girl.
Ugh.
And yep, that's how we end our actual playing through part of it.
Sanji either getting laid or a smack on the head.
You know,
Probably army, he'll probably take both.
That's the ironic thing about Sanji. Both have occurred. Like, he's not just your typical anime loser who obviously wants some but never gets some, you know? He wins some, he loses some. Perfectly balanced as all things should be.
In the meantime, I did find on YouTube some clips from the Singapore English dub. So there you go. There's another bunch of clips for us to watch. The Singapore English dub. How bad can it be?
Yeah, I found this thing on Reddit. Unfortunately, the user, but the piece is still up on. Basically, he came up with a bunch of really shitty endings for each character. I won't name all the characters because we don't see them all of them in this game. And Tio might be the only one of us to get them. But well, here we are. Best One Piece ending is Luffy became left hand of Shanks because Shanks doesn't have a left hand. Zoro gets beaten by Tashigi.
No.
Nami finally draws the world map, but then she lost it.
Ouch.
Usopp, he attends marrying somebody else. Sanji, he breaks his leg and can't go to the All Blue, so he just stays on the Baratie.
Damn.
That's just tragic.
Chopper lost his devil fruit power and just became a regular reindeer.
Is Chopper actually playable in this game? You just have
Yeah, I
to
did
unlock
ask
him.
this a couple of parts ago.
Yeah. So I'm only naming characters that are playable in this game. Nico Robin, she gets imprisoned and impelled down forever.
No.
And as for the rest that aren't, as for just a more general sense, Blackbeard became king of the pirates. Shirahoshi, Vivi, and Rebecca became slaves of the celestial dragons. And yeah, the guy thinking, yeah, this ending's enough to get me burned alive by fans. Like, I don't know which one's worse. Finally accomplishing your dream, but then losing it, or getting beaten by your big rival.
Although Java, I will argue that probably the most bizarre moment in the Singapore DBZ dub is between Yajirobe and Korin, where like when Korin gives when Yajirobe gives some beans to go on without his permission, and Korin gets mad, he literally says, and I quote, "Don't speak so harshly and handed, green butt." And I'm like, what? See, this is when you can tell that the people who did this didn't know English. And then the best part is when Corin, the last scene where Corin goes, "I didn't even give you one bean," and then they're sort of like, "I'm surprised you have a good butt," and I'm like,
Is that where DBZ Abridged got it from?
Probably.
It's if I recall correctly, that's basically what they use as inspiration to make Yajirobe and Kirin a couple, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was asking about.
They do know certainly about the gold key double because it will refer about Whiskers the Wonder Cat. Hi, Chopper.
And that is the end of.
Surrender, pirates.
He can play as Chaser now.
It's Charles Walker.
All
the
treasures
Buggy the Clown as well.
This plan is flawless.
Captain Kuro.
I'll show you
Don't
true
worry.
firepower. Mermen are the perfect species.
ISBO. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of our main playthrough of One Piece Grand Battle for PS2. But this won't be the end of our playthrough, as the next couple of parts will be like little extra segments.
Alright, see ya.
See ya.
Yeah.